Here it comes!
Pragmata, I owe you an apology, bro. I underestimated you after playing the demo, my guy. My expectations were rock bottom after that. I shouldn't have played the demo because I maintain it. That demo was dog shit. But you know what? This is exactly why I don't like to play demos in the first place. Because they're all a scam. They're all a racket for Big Gamer. Except Superman Returns on the Xbox 360. That shit was cool. All the others, though, they're a poor representation of the product, okay? This demo did the game zero favors, full stop. Because then I walked away assuming the full game was going to be a galactic piece of shit. But I judged you too harshly, Pragmata. And I'm happy to say I was wrong. I was very wrong about all the things. Everything I speculated in that other video. Don't listen to that bullshit. I don't know who that was back then, but that wasn't me. Okay, I've grown a lot in the past 3 weeks. So now as a changed man, I am ready to take you seriously, Pragmata. So I did. I played through it. And wow, I gotta say, man, yeah, it's pretty good.
We did it!
Here's the thing, I actually found Pragmata a little tricky to write about. And that's not a knock against it either. It's not a bland game, it's not a bad game. It's actually a great game. It's a solid 8. Remember, 8 means great. Even 7 is good. I hate how high people's standards are nowadays. Jeez. Don't get too hung up on review scores. There's this whole sentiment out there that if anything is less than a unanimous 9 or above across the board, then it may as well be radioactive toxic waste. I don't like it. But on the other hand, as much as I implore you all to play this game, I can't necessarily say it's a must-play for everybody and their local pastor. But still, I'd recommend it to most people without hesitation. To get a quick understanding of how I feel about this game, it's like extraordinary. It's top-tier standard. It's like very, very basic. But it's also like the best kind of regular. Imagine Gordon Ramsay whips you up a grilled cheese sandwich. Doesn't sound too remarkable on paper, but you know it's going to be the best damn grilled cheese sandwich you ever had. So in terms of standard, Pragmata is the best. It's the best at being a basic-ass bitch. Like I said, this game isn't anything earth-shattering, or should I say, moon-shattering, but it's a trip, and it's one worth taking.
What are all these lines? I don't see those on the real Earth.
Again, I'm deeply sorry, Pragmata. I was way too mean to you. I was way out of line with all that stuff I said in the other video. You quickly won me over. I saw a lot of people in the YouTube comments calling this game Dad Space, and that's just perfect. That makes total sense. So you play as a guy named Hugh. Hugh is your standard, totally inoffensive good guy. He only does good things all the time, and he's just here to get the job done. There are a few striking similarities to Dead Space, no doubt. Like this. And it's in space, I guess. Look at this cheap knockoff Chinese bootleg costume, come on. I mean, the game even starts off very similar to Dead Space. You arrive on the moon with your space crew, and within 10 minutes all the creepy robots go apeshit with their lightsabers, they turn evil, everybody gets killed except for Hugh. And then Hugh spends the rest of the game being all emo about it. Throughout the whole game he's all like, I can't believe Steve is gone! What am I gonna do without Kevin? I'm just like, dude, as the audience, we only knew these guys for like 5 fucking minutes. What I really thought they were trying to do is have them show up one by one. Turns out they were alive the whole time, but spoiler alert, no! They never show up again! They're really dead! Sorry, Huey. You're all alone. But not for long. So that's pretty much where the similarities with Dead Space end, as soon as Diana shows up. Let's talk about Diana's. This little android girl absolutely makes this game. Diana is one of the most charmingly adorable characters I've seen introduced to gaming in years. She elevates what could have been a very standard sci-fi action shooter into something genuinely memorable. From the moment she joins you, you just want to protect her with your life. You can find her little Hot Wheels and Beyblades, maybe a pogo stick to fuck with. She draws you up these cute little cat pictures. You could turn the entire hub world into a giant playground for her. It's awesome. She's the best. Hugh and Diana are my new favorite duo in gaming. These two hit it off right from the get-go. There isn't any of that, should I trust them bullshit? No, there's none of that nonsense. You know that these two have each other's backs right from the start. Huey takes care of all the heavy lifting, while Diana does all the hacky stuff. These two make a great team together. It's the most standout feature, the hacking and gunplay dynamic, you know? I thought in the beginning, and of course, because of the demo, I thought this was gonna get old real quick. But no, it doesn't. I thought it was gonna get gross and soggy, like a bowl of Cookie Crisps. But no, it's pretty sweet actually. So little Princess Diana over here handles stubborn computers by screaming at them, which is totally fine because that's exactly what I do when they're not behaving. She upgrades herself throughout the game, she finds little floppy disks on the ground and bites into them like a sandwich. You can multi-hack them, you can make the robots turn on each other. There's one you can unlock later on which basically lets you skip the entire hacking process at the push of a button, which honestly I think makes the game way too fucking easy. Meanwhile, Hugh gets plenty of different weapons to freeze, glitch, blast, and blow apart all the game's army of giant creepy baby robots. But here's the biggest question of this game, and any video game for that matter. Is it fun? Yes. There are a few mild annoyances though. Kinda surprised there's no melee button in this game, you'd think there would be. So you gotta wait for all of your guns to stop having a friggin' asthma attack by overheating, and your only real option is to dodge and jetpack away from everything until they decide to work again. And there's no parrying either, so you just gotta bide your time. There's a few moments I had where you're fighting a bunch of dudes and you get stun locked in one area, and you can't jetpack away because the animation won't allow you to move, so you get vaporized by the laser. It's bullshit! Look at that! Thankfully there's a bit of a remedy though. Once you unlock the ability to bounce back with your thrusters, those cheap deaths become a lot less common. Speaking of which, Hugh's jetpack for the first third of the game is a shoddy piece of shit. And it really doesn't become all that useful until you upgrade it a few times. So initially the platforming totally bites, but once you've filled out a few of those bingo cards, then it starts to become more useful. Another feature of the hub world is those simulated bonus missions you can do to help you upgrade quicker, which adds a whole lot more video game to your video game. The whole video game takes place on the moon. What I like about the setting here is that while it's sci-fi, it doesn't go completely off the rails with all the fantasy stuff. It still feels relatively grounded, like this is a pretty believable future setting. The whole game takes place on this giant moon base called the Cradle, and most of the stuff you see is built with 3D printing tech and whatever AI program is leading that week. And no doubt, this setting feels very timely. But you can totally tell this game was made by the Japanese because there's care and attention put into every single detail, including how diligently they ignore all the knee-high trash and elbow-high homeless panhandlers in their idealized New York City.
Is New York City always like this?
Don't I wish? Now story-wise, even though I thought it was very predictable, and it's chock full of sci-fi cliches, I thought it was super wholesome. It never came off eye-rollingly try-hard to me. It feels very sincere. The themes of over-reliance on tech and AI replacing humanity has surely been done to death, but it feels a bit more plausible here than any of those 80s action flicks we're used to. Let's break it down to brass tacks. Pragmata works because of how refreshingly simple it is. No bloated open-world checklist nonsense, no 100-hour commitments, it's just a focused sci-fi action game with genuinely fun central mechanics carrying it all the way through. It feels to me that Capcom's testing the waters a bit with this game. The world, the ideas, the atmosphere, it all feels way bigger than what the game fully explores. I'm not usually one to egg on sequels anymore, but I feel like this is inevitable. It seems like most people liked it and it sold like 1 million copies. And it feels like there's a lot more room for this world to be fully realized. Pragmata feels kind of like a pilot episode to something that could become pretty great. And if not, that's cool too. I enjoyed my time and I like it as a self-contained thing. But who the fuck am I kidding? They're gonna make a sequel. And if this game lands the way they probably hope it does, I genuinely think a sequel could absolutely blow this concept wide open. More ambitious scenarios, deeper systems. I mean, the foundation's already here. We'll see though. Now go have yourself a nice PG-13 wholesome good time. Take it easy.